Gathering like a choir with a band leader. Insufferable reaches the time of the day for the mind, for the easily slips away for knowledge that isn't retained. For that I must be trained. Where is the souls along so weary? Daydream to the shift in the time for the outcome of the most this clock ticks. Does it move when you find any more than a groove for this? Will be choosing this and others to find the hours to draw to find a rate for worse. Disperse this thought, differing of will be natural. Over beauty, summer day for this darkness that follows me. Even the light of the day for the roses disobey with the beneath the moonlight and still goes all petals and glow for the silver hush. This is worship music once forever. Gathering like a choir with a band leader. Insufferable reaches the time of the day for the mind, for the easily slips away from knowledge that isn't retained. For that I must be trained. Where is the souls along so weary? Daydream to the shift in the time for the outcome of the most this clock ticks. Does it move when you find any more than a groove for this? Will be choosing this and others to find the hours to draw to find a rate for worse. Disperse this thought, giving up will be natural. Beauty, summer day for this darkness that follows me. Even the light of the day for the roses disobloom with the beneath the moonlight and still goes all petals and glow for the silver hush. That love, like wants to kill it. Every minute for the love and the fire for the stage at the junkies, paradigm, lovers, heartbroken, living, blossom not to break away, to stay away for the sweet enough for the seem evil and far away for this crunching over the perfect live for the dust and lunch. This to take a break, breaking fast, and this depression moment for the holding closer. This is the find what you need tonight, time to fresh and pressure moment for the chasing of a breath. Can you catch it? The piece of her for to keep you moving. The piece of her keep running through my mind. And the piece of her they keep my thoughts running down. Breaking down with the love and just breaking down. I wish it doesn't make a sound. Twice the glass of water you can drink if you're thirsty. I stole the flower with the intention to care for the beauty for the something really admire from yearn to possess without the proper care. Time out for where? The misery for the falling apart for the you have the time out for this side and for this end and over the matters of this hand according to your will. Conform a beaver that you concentrated power but that you can never find the peace beneath the dirt. Or when it's been too long for it together again to the circle to find it. Until they get love with the glow. The love for the baby. For the Peter Parker, that's the waking moment for the taking, the core of my soul. And I'm asking nothing for the subbing of the listening, for the rolling up of what's missing and the never good state of was the sorrowful and the pain for this is safe and sane. Spoken to the starlight, until time played, in the storm, you stood here, shade this world like cooking for the blazes of dream for peace, to find the completion of the beautiful parent. This is positivity for the supporting of respect, rejuvenation, decay, springs to see, this is fine what you believe in the heart, mystic, and never listen, be a good passage through your window, man. Be friendly. And everything you can exercise the absorption of theory. And the sorrow for the bomb in your break. Circles of the sacred line and with the grief and everything you want to take. Find from the book of starlight and dogging. Yearns water. Blood and bone. Dusty throat, the fingers and the micro-organism found. No. Resourceful sweetness sincere. Respect to the for the rivalry got worse. Your ego got bigger for the ego is your enemy for the right ego. You can either what's right or wrong. But figure out what say it again. Charming liar for the fakeness and arrogance and just be champagne out of a glass slipper like you think you're over your plastic cup. A better ending with the faster speed and speed and with the keep dark and just a lapping for the death of the sheep. It's frantic heat. How about it? It doesn't matter. You can't speak. Willing to speak the truth from what we hear. An instrument to be not a saxophone to call. What's time for all of that? For the question of what you stay, what you leave, or did you? Let me know. Could have believed it. It was the flowers like that was there for the confusing with your words and everything was that. Is it raining in the cry? I can't tell for the contraction there for the heart that breaks and disagree. Underestimated for the good heart. I can't play. Those lost eyes tell the story for the girl. You heard too many times seeing the pain deep within. The skull called the place this halfway through felt like an unbeatable eternity for this memory. Life is perfect, full to grow and learn. Flood the 5-yard for this and sunlight in the ground for the plucky made new in this time.
Griping for what was dishonor, for the thinner pair, for the deeper, the cheaper, for the flip flops and rock
smile at you for not entirely lost. The truth is known when you paint the fingers of the flicking through the rest of the shadows of the hollow home. The black glass light, this fine head, disenfranchised while you're slipping and shifting your beauty.
shaped like a spiral. Or your heart's land shaped like a spiral thread, the dove, the boom, the call. Her name means something you can find others to behave. To be a healer for the simply, give waterfall for them to feel. Empty houses to tram the doors. Or the touching of the beer cans would find the inhaling of smoke for the beat barrier, or the hiking up the beach, just an ancient jagged over the jetty, over the walking over the built in vain for this to how to reach this place of the lighthouse, this bathe the slice of the open sea, the beam cuts to the space between you and me for the moon, damaging the head for the sparing of the arm for the no one can see. Terrific as for me the reminder for your conquering inner life. This is our the garden, number 2. Forgotten forest between the mountains and the sea, for there was a walk the garden for the time that didn't flow as it did in the world beyond. Garden living in woman for the deep and knowing, for this was the born under the whisper of falling stars, this the moon living for the had been the great healing. Softly but not that Spanish, managed never to hear the wind speaks in the name of the strange tones. This is fine between them, then you find the river that had once strong this curl beneath the earth for this, forgotten something precious long ago. Upon the chest where the shadow lived, and I see you. Each alternative step of your face and cracks and hug under it. Shift the quiet and rearrange it. The decision made the silence of the night. For who am I for the left of the willing, but the drop the cross, the dead, the cross, and with the film, the form, the first, the faith, the swear, the disappointing apologies. I don't wash it with rain, the stain, the beg for the life of the innocent, night for the cane, the dealing in the home life, and have to throw it away yourself. To my legs, you leave arms and now it's the blood for this, when my mind often sometimes woke for this, the falling and I come in the eye, the fall of the light for this, the air, the ceiling in the garden for the ceiling, for the never, for the blossoms across the way. Yes, she met her for the close eyes, blood lapping over the shores of the soul. With this heart of mine, never be alleviating and suffocating away for the heart for the mind. You're ever fits with the hidden door of bricks that you can have it open the door, and have a divine hour for the being the commandment. And the winds hurried over the vine and grace, soul without a mate. In stormy days, in the deepest of the depths of hell, for the came back together for the because our love, for the divine animal, for the back of the slow moving of the storm, for the holy night, for the you can come down, for the holy day the hum, the radiating pitch, and the softening of the beam overhead. Blood is the bird right, and I'm immersed. Ever the breathing back into the pleasure, the getting out of my mind for the back of the time, for the bag of the day, for the water, for the weird, the weird, the weird, the real, for the failed each other, for the love to be patiently, and for the passion. Because of the ignorance, and I may be the helping hand. Between the seasons, so gently, everywhere you've been, for the violent life, at the start of the day without a morning and yearning. Burning desire for the thought you ignite my core, for the flaming of the burns and the cry out and more, for the sword of war, the stars that light the midnight star. Swallow the hours for the silent ride, for the space of hunger over you, nowhere to hide, for the dissolving into the deep of this gratitude. Sleep this electric embrace, this world of liquor for the put it true. Stitching new for the crunch time. Our duty for the giving emotion, for the motionless and the gifts of the river we were given the lead, and the leaf and the beef for the key for the whisper to the fantasy, for this is where the mist of this shadows play. In the void, any crying, give the crashing of the past and the cosmic sounds that you across the twilight skies. This stars are the line for the tension to the pure and your final butterfly feet. Walk with some of your first and with something left to take. Fit this to find the strength of thought. Words of the whispers fall for soft, throw the waking, aching cracks at the heart to refine. Wasted potential for the all could have been, but it never will have been wasted. Something I refuse to forget. Morning muse stretched, half asleep, faces the melody for the play for keeps. But it's not as bold as you thought. Or think that this to be the only crowd, for this time and time, for this to be the skies, a word of fire, was disappointed for the sleepiness too, for this love bouquet whispers secrets to mine. Rest your soul, time is near, darling. No need to steer to go away for you the first of this to make the trip and not regret for this the setting of the shallows of the ever the setting of it when you find the realms of this where you swim in the depths of the oceans. And the secret turns soft to rain where the silence goes. The cell return for the essence of you, for the unraveling of the soul for the world. They walk the line, the rain remember you. Inked in the dust, rename the two silhouettes in the half, the dream, the this, the half, the must, and this, the half, the ever to fetch this, the storm, the brooming, and the testing, the battles, the spirit of grace. Always the giving for the learning, for the sturdy, the selfless, and within the reaching, this, from the nowhere, this one back to me, for this to be the faithful friend, wrapping myself.
listening now.
Rio, 1970. Duas pessoas vão.
First, inside. An interior that's inviting, comfortable, and sporty. With an instrument panel that's deeply padded and hooded.
Critical, my behavior is gonna play an effect in my spiritual. Even beats the beer becomes a spiritual touch with the ears of those who want to hear the truth. Lies low beneath the surface and align your honesty and position. You choose which views to use. You'll know the possibility affecting your energy and your tune. Grace will allow you the next passing hour like you were in the former place. Who's to blame for being confused? Burn fuse, choose to express what's on your mind. Not consider to a place that you're going through. All the madness and she is next to follow through my heart. Destinations like pulling over the next and over the past. Take the emotions inside like cars. Arriving to get drunk and dance into the future moonlight. Becomes more bright as the night slips away with the rest of the night. She smells the breakfast, dreamscapes of fasting, eating slowly. She has been made it the way for the hours to take ownerships of the day. Like it was the acid down her throat. It's the most important part that matters. Explanations and planets breaking up with the countries and X marks the spot. Times and coordinates cordially corresponding to the corporate America cancer. I'm a musician, she's a dancer. The one who doesn't anything gets the reason for me to understand. Have no plans and time for that matter. Drifting in emotion, floats in oceans that become hard to understand. Fading the moment. I know the stars will get resolutions and find the meaning in the light can be ever sometimes to slip away from home. Open still, open till you fail to melt that memory to yourself. It was copyrighted, sent overnight passing thoughts and zip codes. So rising, drained and over-explained the pain till she was numb. It was look, ears to the thumb. If you hear what you understand, don't overdo it. It was a past tolerance, food for thought, like finger foods for appetizers. Getting drunk off the love and when you put it in the tank like not passing the breathalyzer. You're forgetting your children are listeners and parents with Alzheimer's and a motherless child can be a child without a memory of her father. I'll run back to those cloudy wastelands, see it through like inside out. Turning closed minds and clothes, getting washed inside out. Like pictures of being erased for announcers to call it batter. That's a swinger, an abuser who battered his love. And he stood at the mound to notice the third was strike. And it was an inside and out. Washed inside like sheer at a beach or clip. Sexual peak like a beak, like a British teeth, like a queef. Open the dog gates, this is a leash. Open with a broken heart in my chest when it's beyond reach. Wisdom is an oxymoron. mind and a teacher, and a womanizer and a preacher, a supremacist coach at the bleachers, keeping the whites whiter, and the hollow grounds of a paraplegic speaking parables, gunning off like perpendicular parallels. Paralegals are particularly out of participants of husbands and wives lost out in the front of the others. In stores getting petitions and being petty, treating pets at petting zoos, pedals to make sure that you were able to penetrate the heart, getting in a soak for draining and getting penalized for the battery, writing words in the end, pens doing numbers and pensions, imposing prison sentences as time served in periods like premature boys penetrating everyone's cups to be filled with penultimately pen pencils, and the pen won't make any light of the penalty. Where he was dark night, pronounced his love for the moon, remembering how they would dance when they were in tune like souls attracted to each other's energy with the stars were aligned, calling me the right stars and calling me mediocre thoughts to even think that you were only imagined. Soon my moon will come soon, rocks the blue water, drowning its overbearing gravity forever someone. Somewhere down the line is the period for someone sentencing the smell aroma of the love heart. Approaches what's in store, like approaching the corner store, passing on the ships in the night. So grateful for the welling critics. Knows what we see in wells, the breath through the nose. And uptight and unexposed. These men have the mentality that heavy mental being, slums surrounded by white people who are being told and taught they're equal, like coming to America. But there was a sequel, people tall, looking through peepholes, not making a peep loud souls from the shoes, reaping the souls that you reap. The benefits of being able to make certain amounts of energy and time for the greater amounts considered. That one smile that brings